Alright guys, so it's been a long, quiet stretch for GTA 6 fans. Weeks of nothing but pre-order pages and old trailers on loop, and it's been a little rough just sitting around waiting. Even though I'm not the biggest GTA fan of all time like so many people are, I can actually feel the pain inside because of no trailers and gameplay. It's just that kind of game that literally everyone is waiting for. But something is happening with GTA 6 right now, and I mean genuinely actually happening, not just the usual background noise we've been dealing with for months. There is a lot to get through here, so let's just go. For a second, let's forget that Lucia's actor is back on social media after months of nothing. Let's start with the account that kicked all this off for me, but of course, it's not the only thing that's happening right now at this very moment. There are many things. There's this account on X going by cat, handle cat.com0, and normally I wouldn't even bring up some random anonymous account, except this one's actually earned some credibility. Back in June, this account posted that Rockstar would start marketing on June 25th and dropped that exact date 5 days before it actually happened. That's not a vague guess, that's a specific date called days in advance, and it landed right on target. So now a few days ago, the same account posted again saying August is looking pretty sunny and telling people to get stocked up on refreshments. Read into that however you want, but given the track record, people are taking it seriously, and there's a real theory going around that this could be someone with actual insider access who doesn't want to get directly linked to Rockstar. Hence the anonymous throwaway account instead of a big name leaker putting their whole reputation on the line. Rockstar is known for knocking on doors or getting people to court for leaks, so you have to be extra careful. And it's not just one account. Rockstar just announced scheduled maintenance for their account services on August 4th from 4 to 6 UTC, and during that window, players won't be able to modify account info or do things like delete their account. Maintenance windows happen all the time and most of them mean nothing. But the timing here, right in this exact stretch where everyone's expecting something big, has people wondering if this is routine housekeeping or Rockstar quietly prepping infrastructure for a much bigger traffic spike. Then there's the actor angle. The person believed to voice or portray Lucia Caminos just popped back up on Instagram for the first time in months right in this same window. This pattern isn't new. Actors and voice actors tend to go quiet during periods of embargo or NDA restrictions tied to marketing pushes and then start reappearing publicly right as those restrictions are about to lift. Seeing that happen right now at the same time as everything else is exactly the kind of detail that gets people digging back through old posts looking for more clues. Now let's shift gears completely because there's something else going on with this game that honestly deserves its own spotlight: the map. For years now, there's been a dedicated community project, some of you probably already know it, built inside a Discord server specifically focused on reconstructing GTA 6's map piece by piece using every scrap of leaked footage, trailer analysis, and real-world reference points from Florida. This started shortly after the huge 2022 leak, and it began as a rough, mostly empty outline. But the version that got shared earlier this year is nothing like that anymore. It's dense, detailed, and shows actual cities, highways, small towns, countryside, mountains, and waterways, all pieced together from years of accumulated evidence. According to the people building it, the map they've reconstructed is somewhere around 2.5 times the size of Los Santos from GTA 5, and it spans everything from a neon-soaked recreation of Vice City to Everglades-style wetlands further out. There's also a separate collaborative site some fans built, essentially a Google Maps style interactive version of this reconstructed world, which gets periodically updated as new information surfaces, and by the most recent update it had grown even more detailed than the version before it. Someone even went as far as rebuilding the entire thing inside city skylines too, just so people would have something explorable while the real game stays locked away, which honestly says a lot about how starved this community is for anything tangible. The level of detective work going into pinpointing exact locations from these screenshots lately has gotten kind of ridiculous in the best way. Rockstar's clearly caught on that fans have been mapping every single screenshot they released because the newest batch that showed off a brand new town only gave us interior shots, no exterior at all. Didn't matter though, because mappers still tore through everything else in that release. One of the biggest finds came from a set of residential towers, which the road layout, and even the specific style of traffic signs in the background point to almost certainly being Bacane Key, matched right down to real-world street signage. Another screenshot nearby shows the Four Seasons building along with a few other recognizable towers, which helped narrow down the exact balcony the shot was taken from, looking back toward Vice City. There's also a first proper look at the Miami Design District identified through a large decorative sphere sculpture in the background that closely mirrors a real art installation, and that same sculpture shows up in multiple other shots too, confirming Rockstar rebuilt that whole district in serious detail. We also got new angles on Jason's house, and even though nobody's pinned down the exact real-world inspiration after years of trying, the newest shots reveal more of the neighborhood around it, nearby homes, a boat ramp, and small yard details like lawn chairs. A separate shot shows Jason kayaking off the coast, with a marina and boatyard visible in the distance, which lets the community place him paddling west toward the game's version of the 7-mile bridge. That lines up almost perfectly with a real arena and island in the background, or a boating scene that gave us our first proper look at police patrol boats and a patrol helicopter, neither of which had been shown before, hinting law enforcement is going to have a much bigger water-based presence this time around. And separately, back on June 25th, right when everyone was expecting a trailer that didn't show up, another well-known insider, Tom Henderson, who previously correctly called GTA 6 $80 price tag before it was confirmed, was asked when we'd finally see something. His entire reply was just one word: August. On top of the insider chatter, there's also been some interesting technical stuff going on behind the scenes. Community developers who track Rockstar's website noticed the backend getting updated 3 separate times in a single day recently, which is unusual. Normally you'd see one routine deployment, not 3 stacked together. Nothing new appeared publicly on the site itself, but that kind of repeated backend activity is usually what happens right before a studio pushes out something that's going to bring a lot of extra traffic. Sony also recently confirmed they've secured enough memory chips to guarantee PS5 stock specifically for the GTA 6 launch window in November, though a price increase on the console itself may be coming alongside it. And on the development side, a former Rockstar animator estimated that the game itself is somewhere around 80 to 90% content complete at this point, which lines up with everything else pointing toward a game that's deep into its final stretch rather than still being built from scratch. Now here's the part you specifically wanted me to dig into. Take-Two's earnings call this week is a genuinely big deal, and not just because it's an earnings call. It's the last one before November, which is the actual launch month for GTA 6. It's also the first earnings call to land after pre-orders officially opened back on June 25th, meaning this is the very first time investors get any real numbers on how those pre-orders are actually performing instead of just vague marketing language. But what's really got people talking is the timing itself. This call is happening on a Friday at 8 in the morning Eastern, right before the market opens, and that's not how Take-Two normally does things. They usually report Tuesday to Thursday after the market closes. Scheduling it before the opening bell on a Friday is something they haven't done in years. And on top of that, 8 AM Eastern happens to land right before Rockstar's usual posting window, which tends to run between 9 and 10 AM Eastern. So you've got an unusually timed call immediately followed by the exact hour Rockstar tends to post things, all happening in the same stretch where insiders are already pointing at August. Now to be fair, not everyone thinks this timing actually means anything. Some outlets covering this have pointed out that Rockstar has never actually used an earnings call as a launchpad for a trailer before, and that reading too much into a pre-market Friday slot might just be fans pattern matching because they're starved for information. That's a completely fair point, and it's worth keeping in mind before anyone gets their hopes up for something dropping the exact same morning as the call. But even with that caveat, the call itself is still going to matter because it's the first real look at how pre-orders are actually going, and depending on what Take-Two shares, that alone could shape how confident everyone feels heading into the final stretch before launch. Like the video right now so the gameplay can arrive, and subscribe to stay tuned.